Everybody, welcome back to the Sean Atwood channel. We're back with Babs for part 2 of our series Exposing the Elites with Babs's quite unique background and experience through that entire world. So first of all, Babs, thanks for coming back and joining us and being here. How have you been, like, since our last conversation? How are you?
I've been good. I've been just, very, very busy with my robe company. And since we did the last podcast, there's been such an outreach on so many victims have reached out to me, men and women,
Yeah.
and just wanting to share their story with me. So that's been really great. And it's just been positive feedback.
Yeah,
And
that's awesome.
I've been busy working on my brand because I lost my house in the fire, in the Palisades fire. So all my patterns and fabrics burned. So I had to basically start over, and I had beautiful patterns from fabrics from Italy from the 60s that were so beautiful and vintage. Everything burned, so I had to start over. But it's just been very overwhelming, but in a positive way. So that's good.
Well, at least you're keeping a positive mindset. And just to remind everybody, if you've got any questions for Babs, get them in as soon as possible. We want to get as many questions answered this evening as we can. But going into this and this whole veil that seems to be over Hollywood, seems to be over so many different industries that tie in with fame and fortune and all of that allure. When we see the sort of level of individual that we can see, the Diddy's, the Epstein's, all of this, but behind the veil, the people that are behind these people, that's who I want to ask you about, first of all, Babs, if you're happy to talk about it. Like, who, in your opinion, are the puppet masters behind these individuals?
Well, I don't think it's individuals that are behind individuals. I believe that we're in a system that has elites that are higher than the celebrities, and then they have the elites that are on top of the celebrities, and then you have the people above the elites, which are different groups. Like in college, you have Sigma Phi, Beta, Phi, Beta, Kappa, whatever. You have those type of groups that protect each other, and that's what Hollywood and entertainment industry is. It's just, if you want to get in the industry, you have to have knowledge and power.
Yeah. Well, it certainly is testament to how long they've got away with this sort of activity, where how far their power can go.
I mean, it's been going on for thousands of years.
It's true. For those
Yeah.
that, often talk about and refer to this as the cabal, it's all too real, all too real. Now, Waterboot is asking, have you ever seen anything ritualistic or occult behavior in these circles?
I didn't see anything ritualistic, but I did see bad behavior by men and women. I don't think it was some sort of initiation. It was more partying and having a good time, but not in an appropriate way.
Yeah. No, I can assure you, Wendy, Babs is not AI. Okay, I can assure you this is a real person.
You know,
Too funny. Too
the
funny.
responses have been really, really positive, but then I have some people that have sent me messages. Oh, why didn't you say something? Well, when you were in it. Well, because that's how I make money, and I'm not going to ruin my name because I want to tattle on somebody. That's
Yeah,
not my
well,
job.
that's right.
That's
Yeah, I
not
mean,
my job.
it's often a question that people ask. Well, why didn't you come forward? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that?
Well, who,
But
who am I going to tell? My agent?
that's it. And again, when you think about the reach and power of these individuals, you don't know where to turn for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Now, just give me 1 second. Yeah, there was an error that when I came into the studio for my channel, everybody. So just like and share and push this out, because YouTube is fighting the truth as per usual. And yeah, so guys, get your questions in. But Babs, looking back to that time, right? We talked a little bit about individuals like the King's brother, for example, who had some of your friends in apartments. How many individuals were brought here and then never made it home? Because you mentioned before about a lot of the language barriers that were used as almost a form of prison against some of these girls that came over. How often did they not make it back?
I mean, I don't have an exact number, but it's rumors that, as you can see right now, even in the White House, the last administration lost 300,000 children. So I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it could be millions. Who knows
Yeah,
how many missing models there are? Who knows? That's my job, to be here to talk about the industry that I was involved in. And now things are becoming more open and more victims are willing to share and be brave to give their stories and their testimonies. People like myself, I finally feel somewhat safe because everybody's speaking up now. So I feel safe. And I actually had to put a stalker in jail, and he was from a big director in the 60s. His name was Kazan. His son, Leo, he was in jail for 12 years, and I put him in jail in New York. He was stalking me. So there's a lot of things like that I had to deal with, and it wasn't fun. And I was trying to just make a living.
yeah. No, I hear you. I don't think the echo is technical. I think it's just the size of the room, or the room that
Um,
Babs is in. So, we talk about, you mentioned there the sheer amount of missing children and missing individuals. In your opinion, does this all tie in together? Is this just a road that leads to the sinister acts that took place on the island and things like this? Or is it one big circle of individuals, or is it completely separate? These, the age differences in these individuals' tastes.
oh, you mean regarding the victim?
Yeah,
I think I think it's all ages.
yeah.
I don't think there's
Well,
a particular age.
after the last show,
Mhm.
you said a lot of people had reached out to you, right? What
Yes,
was
I
the
did.
general feedback? Was it just more people having the same experience as you? Was it just validating everything that you'd been said?
That
It was,
that
yeah.
that yes, and similar experiences. This one girl, she was a model. She reached out to me, and she was at the La Jolla house I mentioned, and she said she noticed cameras in there when she was with her boyfriend at the time, was Fred Durst.
Yeah,
So, I would love to bring her on one day, and she can share her story with you guys.
yeah,
So, you know, it's just not fair to us victims, and then people don't believe you. I really don't care. So I'm sharing my story to help other victims come forward, like the lady who called me, or she texted me on Instagram. She reached out to me and she shared her story, and she was crying, and it was upsetting, and we, basically supported each other.
yeah. And I think that's going to be testament to you coming forward, is bringing
Mhm.
these survivors of this grooming process, this horrific cost that seems to come for the fame and the opportunities. Um, and that's something that you're planning on doing under your own
Yes.
banner as well. And
Yes. I'm going to help women and men give advice and tips how to operate in this business, how to navigate in this business, how you can support yourself and connect to other platforms that um, only support agencies that really look out for their models or
hang on,
actors.
there we go. There we go. Um, yeah, it's really sad to think how many voiceless individuals there are, and we don't often consider the higher plateaus of society. We always look at um I guess it's a lot of people find it harder to relate to people who are up on that upper echelon of fame and fortune and all the rest of it. And I imagine they feel voiceless, these
Yes,
survivors. Um,
yes, because who's gonna believe you?
mm,
I mean, you're look at Sean Combs. You know, I was even online stating facts about him before he even went to jail, and people were calling me names. And I said the guy's disgusting. And everybody says, "Oh, Kathy took him down because she wanted money." I don't think so. That's beyond that. And people just don't believe you. So
yeah, and I guess
now,
it comes
people believe you because all of our stories are similar.
right. I think a lot of people had their eyes opened with the Diddy case as well.
Yeah.
I mean, some of us for different reasons than others, but I think that was the biggest pushing of this cycle of abuse back into the mainstream that we've had for a long time. Now, everyone that's watching, please make sure you like and subscribe, and share this out for us, because you know how YouTube really likes the truth getting out there.
Mhm.
And apologies, yeah, some of the links for some of the social media platforms haven't worked. LinkedIn, that hasn't connected. My channel hasn't connected. Nothing suspicious there. Um, does Barb think? Hang on a second. Does Barb think Justin Bieber fathered Kourtney Kardashian? I don't know who Kourtney Kardashian is. I'm not going to lie. But what do you think about that, Barb?
I have my thoughts on that.
Okay.
I know for a fact that they slept together. I know for a fact.
All right.
And I believe that her son Rain is Justin.
That is spicy. That's a good question. That's a good question. Um, you know, it's interesting. I've seen Justin Bieber the other day. He was hanging out on a Kick streamer's live stream. I don't know what's going on with Kick, but it seems to just be drawing in. It's
What is
weird.
that?
It's
What's
just a stream.
this?
It's a streaming platform,
Oh,
but it's handing out contracts for 10 million, 30 million, 40 million pound for people to be streaming there. Randy
what?
Jackson, yeah, Randy Jackson, the MMA fighter. He's over there doing his thing now. But yeah, it's
You mean
bonkers.
if you go on there, like what if you went on there?
Well, I don't. I see. I've not got like 10 million followers, right? If I had like 10 million followers,
Oh,
they'd be slapping me with some offers. Uh,
oh,
but
I see. So
sadly,
if you're a
yeah,
bigger
it's
platform, you can.
yeah, it's nuts. A lot of it does circulate around gambling though, and
Um,
live streaming gambling and things like this. But it's you know it's one of the few platforms that's been set up that's actually blown up. So, okay, here's another one from Joel. Let's just go with Joel. Did you ever see Eminem or 50 Cent in these circles or hear about them?
no.
No.
I only hear good things about 50 Cent. I've never heard bad things about him.
Yeah.
I
All right.
know that he's a street guy and he's straight. And I don't think he wants to be a part of anybody owning
Yeah. No, it's kind of like the
him.
vibe he gives off, if I'm being honest with
I
you. So
mean, look, there's other like cliques in the industry. I mean, you have the Boule, you have the Illuminati, you have you have all kinds of cults within the industry. I mean, it's not necessarily you don't have to be good or bad, you know, it's just what you accept or what you're a part of.
and what I mean, when you say that these cults are around you, how how prevalent and in your face was the presence of these groups?
I mean, it's everywhere. Look at
Yeah.
Scientology. I was in Scientology for a year.
How how did that come about? Like, can you talk a little bit about the road to Scientology, if you will? Because
Mhm.
we had for years we had them sitting with their
Yeah.
little Thetan readers in my city in Edinburgh, uh, and
Uh,
luckily we got the laws changed so that they could no longer stand out in the streets and do anything. Like they're just restricted to the little L. Ron Hubbard building. which I'm actually banned from. Very proud of that. And yeah, tell us about the journey, because it's always fascinating when people choose any religion, right? But
Yeah,
Scientology, spicy, right?
it's
So
very
if you don't
spicy.
mind talking about just a little bit, if you don't mind talking about it,
Okay.
tell us what that was like, the
So
journey.
when I was living in New York, I was there, I was around, I just turned 17. I was there for my summer working and modeling. And I came upon this building and it said, take a free personality test. And I'm a very curious person. I enjoy studying all types of religion. I studied Buddhism. My mom's, Christian Orthodox, so I studied her religion. I'm Christian. So I love occult knowledge. I love to decipher hidden meanings and everything. So when I saw this sign saying take a personality test, that caught my eye. So I went inside this building and I took this personality test that took 4 hours.
Damn.
And
It's
they said, and they said they would get back to me, and they got back to me. They sent me an email. It was on AOL at that time.
right.
And very old school. And I passed the exam, and then they invited me to have a meeting, sit down meeting, and they wanted to know all about me, like where I was from, what my background is, did I believe in God and Jesus, what vaccines I've taken, what prescriptions I take or have taken. And then we moved on to the second phase, which was they detoxed me. I was in a detox phase for 6 weeks with NAD, and I was in saunas and dry saunas and constantly detoxing. They don't want any type of prescription in your body. They want you very pure. And they told me to remain a virgin as long as I could, because at that time I was still a virgin. Um,
I mean, did
and then
alarm bells not start going off at that point? Was that not like a major warning sign? Like, we want you
I
pure and
no,
cleansed. Stay a virgin.
no, because they were with Christ. So I thought it was just to be pure for God. And then they explained to me that they're connected to certain agencies in New York and Los Angeles. And I said, yeah, that would be great. So I immediately signed with two big agencies, CAA and Innovative Artists.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay.
And then, yeah, so that's how I landed to get the opportunity to work with Harvey Weinstein. It was because of my agent.
Oh wow. Okay. So
And then I had to pay dues every month. And after 2 years, my mom told me that I was in a cult and I needed to get out of it. And I just stopped paying my dues. And since I lived in New York, they couldn't come over state line and demand anything from me, because if I lived in Los Angeles, they could come knocking on your door and they could demand your money. You don't pay taxes either.
okay. Well, look, we've got
Mhm.
some more questions coming in here.
Oh, okay.
What's your opinion, okay,
Mhm.
on Jay-Z and Beyonce leaving the USA? Nothing suspicious at all, I would think you would imagine, is that one,
Did
right?
they leave? Did they leave the United States? Because I
They
saw she's on tour.
literally, right?
When?
The start of this year, they bought a house about 45 minutes from where Sean lives.
Would they also have a house 10 minutes
Yeah.
from me here in Malibu?
Oh yeah, I can't imagine they don't seem like the sort of people that need to sell the house before they move. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Like, I'm pretty
no.
sure they just go slap wads down on tables. But it was during the mass exodus of individuals.
Oh,
Call it Trump's second term, or call it, oh my God, what's Diddy going to say? You can put
right.
whichever one you want on that, but
I mean,
the
obviously, yeah, they're guilty. It's obvious. Duh.
okay, well, we'll circle back to those two in just a
Yeah,
minute.
they're not innocent. That's for sure.
Okay. Well, look, this is an interesting one. Public personas versus who the person really is, right? So who would you say the fakest people are that you've came across in the public eye who are just absolute monsters off camera, but on camera they try and push.
Taylor Swift.
Why'd you have to bring Tay Tay into this? Why'd you have to bring Tay Tay? Why you gotta do that?
She hit on my husband in front of me, so I was about to slap the bitch.
Damn. All right, fair dues. I'll give you that. All right, I can see that's a personal thing. That's a personal thing.
Personal. I
Okay.
like her.
Yeah, okay, fair dues. I'll give you
And
that.
then my husband goes, "She's scandalous."
Damn. All right.
I was
Big
like,
shout out, Tay Tay.
she hasn't met any Texas heat yet.
Damn. All right. Okay. Fair dues. That was a good one, Babs. Okay, here's another one here. Barbara, is it also a fact that Justin Bieber also had shenanigans with Kim Kardashian as well?
Yes. I heard that too.
Hang on, I might just have to slap
Isn't
up.
that weird that your sister and yourself sleep with the same guy? That's so weird.
Yeah.
Weird. They're not normal people. They're
Jessica, can you expand on your question? Can you be a little bit more specific with your question from him, if you can? That would be great. Now, I'm just checking on the side chat here. Just give me a second. I heard that Jay-Z and his family are living in the UK for 6 months in Scotland. Listen, Jay-Z and Beyonce, you know for a fact if they're going to do anything in Scotland, they're going to buy some right little creepy island up in the Orkneys and move freaking all of the priestesses there and get on with their really non-suspicious gatherings. But even you were saying yourself that you don't feel like, and this is all allegedly, okay? But you said allegedly that Jay-Z and Beyonce
allegedly.
Yeah, we need to tread carefully. They get real suey real fast. Does Jay-Z? Jay-Z loves it. He loves it.
I had the biggest crush on him. I mean, even until 2020, even my friends would throw me birthday cakes with Jay-Z on there, the face, everything.
Oh, was there not something that took place? Was there not something that took place on your 21st birthday? You mentioned this before. Well, while I gather up some more questions, can we delve into what I would imagine are tactics that are used by these individuals on ladies like yourself? And I think we had a conversation one night about spiking drinks and then it being closing time and people being led out. Can we go through that and just sort of talk a little bit about that while I gather up some more questions? And also put 3 capital Q's in front of your question. Get your questions in for Babs. Make sure you like and subscribe. And the mods are doing a great job of posting your links for us and all that good stuff.
Thank you, guys.
Remember to put this is what 3 capital Q's look like, just in case anyone doesn't know. Those are 3 capital Q's. Put them before your question so that I can identify them faster. But take us back to you being 21, Jay-Z, and all of that. And I'll accumulate some more questions, perhaps.
I was a little bit older than 21, but one of my best friends, I'll get into the story like very detailed on another episode.
Sure.
But the gist of it is Jay-Z has his security guards and madams working for him. And when he's out at the nightclub, his security guards have separate phones that they give to the models. The models put in their phone number and give it back to the security guard. And then they contact them right away and they tell them where the after party is. And that's when they spike your drinks while you're at the table dancing, drinking your drink, having fun with Jay-Z. And then the next minute, they time it perfectly. They'll say she'll be out in 20 minutes. So then they get everybody from the table and they have one of those Mercedes van buses and they put everybody in there and then they bring them to the party.
Yeah, it's scary that because when we were talking about it before, it sounded like a very well-oiled routine.
It's very well, and I'm intuitive too, so I study pattern recognition. So
Mhm.
that's why I was watching what was going on. And that was pretty much like the beginning of myself noticing how everything was operating. I started noticing how the nightclubs are working with the celebrities. I saw how they go to the nightclubs to get the beautiful girls and the beautiful model men and normal civilians. They owe it. That's another thing. They call people that are like you and I civilians.
Yeah, I mean that would make sense. It's better than peasant, you know. So I'm all right. That's quite
Did you
accurate.
hear that, audience? They call all of us civilians.
Civilians. Yeah, like I say though, I think I'm all right with it. I'm all right with being called a civilian. There's a lot worse that they could have named us. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not
That's
gonna
how
lie.
they talk.
That's
That's
the
how they
civil
talk.
one. That's if they know they're being recorded. Those are the
I,
words they use if they know they're being recorded, Bab.
if you only knew how they talk,
Right.
it's gross.
Right. Now, from
It's gross.
Agent Orange. Did Babs know or know of Catherine Urrutia's death of self-harm 2022? Is that, you know who Agent Orange is talking about there?
I don't. Is she a model or?
Yeah, give us some more info, my G, and we'll come back to you.
I
what does
listen.
what does what do Barb and Ron think of Piers Morgan? You want to take this one first? Because listen,
He's a twat.
oh well, when Americans
He's a
try and use British
he's
words,
a
I'm like,
he's a puppet twat.
okay, okay. So you believe that he, even though he rents his studio from a corporation, but claims to be completely independent, you do not believe this. You believe that
Yeah,
he's still part of the system and the problemos, right? Okay, 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 okay.
absolutely.
I'm here for anyone that just wants to shout hard questions at people on interviews, right? I
Yes,
like
bring the question.
the best thing about Piers Morgan is when someone is talking over him and refuses to stop talking over him, no matter how hard he tries to interrupt. Um,
You know who I love was when Kanye West and Sneeko were on there.
that was too good. Like he lost it. Like
Lost it.
you could see it just.
Lost it. It was hilarious. He's like, I spent so much money setting up
Uh-huh.
the studio, setting
When
up
he,
the lights.
do you remember? Do you ever remember that movie Anchorman? Right, with Ron
Yes,
Burgundy, right? He
yes,
gives me
yes,
Ron Burgundy vibes
yes.
when he gets angry on camera, right? He's just like, it's too good. It's too good. Milk Indeed was a bad choice, Pierce. Okay.
Oh my god, I can't take it. I think Kanye's hilarious.
You think Kanye's a hilarious? Oh, Kanye has said some really interesting things.
I like
You know what
him.
I'm saying? I think he's just trying to build himself an insanity plea for if he ever
He
gets
does
dragged.
not. He gives 0 F. That's why I like him.
Have you seen the homeless Kanye West conspiracy about this
No.
homeless guy? It's like this homeless dude. I'm telling you, you got to see this. Like, you got to love the internet for a real
But you
good.
know what? He's a free man though, so
Is he?
give it to him. Yeah.
Is he though?
That,
Is he, or is he absolutely mental?
no,
Because
he's a free man. He's free. That's why he's mental.
that can't be the goal though. The goal can't be I'm a freeman. Like,
No, he is. He's free now.
okay, but you can be free and can be completely mad. The
But he
two.
is. He's both. He's free and mad. He's
All right,
both.
all right. Okay, who is a surprisingly good person out of all of the people in Hollywood, all of the celebs? Who would you say is the gem amongst them all, or are they all just some bitches?
No, I mean, name some names. I'll say yes or no.
Oh, I don't know. Jesus, I've
I
got
mean, tell the
ADHD.
viewers. You guys
Oh yeah, the
ask
viewers.
me.
Yeah, ask them. Yeah, dial in the question, and we'll come back to it.
That's such a broad question. There's so many good people. Like, what do you mean?
What
There's
do they
a
call themselves? I imagine you're referring back to the cultists and things like this, but you went over some names of the various organizations, right? Or are you referring to the fact that they call us civilians? What do they call themselves? Possibly. You need to dial in your questions a little bit, people. I'm on the spectrum and have ADHD, so if you think I'm going to be able to figure it out, nah. I'm going to forget your question in 2 seconds and then move on. Did you see how far Barb's got through our Scientology story? Did you see that? She got about 2 minutes into it. My brain's seen something, and now we're off round the corner.
Yeah, guys, give Ron some nice love. He's told me he has. What do you have, honey? ADHD.
Yeah, I don't need anyone's love or sympathy. Thanks very much, Babs.
Well,
I'm
think
an
you guys
immortal.
need to be
I'm a
nice.
goddamn immortal, Babs.
Be nice to Ron.
Yeah, no, Ron's good. Okay, so we got some names popping up here, Babs. We'll get to them in just a sec. Is Ashton Kutcher also into this? Hang on a second. Is Ashton Kutcher also into this since he hangs around with Diddy? So I get bad vibes from Ashton Kutcher defending that Scientology dude. I was very disappointed in Meg from Family Guy also pitching in. That was Mila Kunis. That was not cool. Not cool.
I mean, why is he always with Sean Combs? Why is he always hanging out with him?
Well, you got to remember, right? If we want to be objective with this, like a lot of these white parties that we've seen on the Diddy tapes, where during the day they gave off like MTV B-roll opportunity vibes, rather than. I mean, I'm not saying there wasn't horrible things taking place during the day, right? But I just feel like that's the sort of whittling them down into the inner circle of the party that takes place at 2 a.m. vibe. So I imagine everyone that got absolutely off their nut like Ashton Kutcher and decided to swing about on a massive swing, is going to have some regrets. What do you think, guys?
I'll tell you a story. My friend, she's a real estate broker here in Malibu, and she told me that she had to rent one of her houses out to Sean Combs. 2016, it was the Malibu White Party. And when she lent it to him for the week, he rented it out. I think he rented it out. It was like 400,000, 500,000 for the week. And when they went to go check the house out, they had all the furniture outside with the sprinklers on. The house was all white. Inside of the house was shit all over the walls, all over the couches. There was a water hose spraying all over the house on the walls inside. There was probably like close to $1 million worth of damage, and they had no idea what to do.
Damn. Sounds like a Dubai Birkin party to me.
Yeah, so you can actually probably look it up. It was the White Party Malibu 2016, and he had to pay for all of that damage. He damages homes, people's homes, with his debauchery.
I'm not being funny, right? Could you imagine sitting down with your lawyer, right? Could you imagine trying to sit down with your lawyer and be like, listen, it happened again, Bill. Okay, I just couldn't help it. It's $1 million worth of poop damage. Like, how?
Well, and then when they arrested Sean Combs in
his hotel in New York, they found all his drugs, all his stuff in his hotel with the baby oil and everything. He does not care. Does not care.
Yeah.
Even if I think he's so crazy and so lost in his mind that he thinks that the police and the FBI and the CIA are going to help him. So that's why he doesn't give a shit. He does not care.
The thing that I keep stirring back to it with the Man on the Island and Diddy was at the beginning of both arrests, it was all about tapes and hidden cameras and all of this. Where is any of that? We both know this is all about blackmail. We both know that a lot of these industries are built off the back of that. I mean, do you think we're ever going to see any of this come to light? Are we ever going to see them even acknowledge the existence of the 1,000 terabytes that they apparently took from Diddy?
I mean, this is what people don't understand. It was under the Biden administration when Epstein got arrested, and they have all the stuff, and the judges and the DAs, they're not releasing all the information, so they're basically waiting on them.
Okay. I think we
And
asked this.
I know they said Cash Patel is scheduled to speak September 17th in front of the court about the Epstein tapes. And I just saw on Telegram that the government just seized Epstein's house somewhere.
Okay.
I have to find where that was. Yeah, so it's coming to light. I personally, this is what I believe. I believe that Ghislaine is not in Texas. I think that when they let her out of the prison in Florida and she was grabbing all her papers, I think they seized the papers. I think they interviewed her. And then remember, Mike Johnson flew back to Israel like that week. And then Trump went to Scotland.
Yeah.
I believe that Mike Johnson and Trump dropped Ghislaine off to Israel. Pack your bags, get out of our country, and that's it. I think they gave her back.
I would back that.
She's more important than Trump. She is so important. She's a Mossad's daughter. I don't think she's in Texas. Texas is a lower prison. It's not even as horrible as the one that she was in. So I don't think she's there. I think they sent her back to Israel with my.
Like I say, Babs, I could 100% back that theory. I think a lot of people could. Now, I think this next question was answered in the last show, but have you ever heard Meghan Markle being involved in anything, or her name in passing, or whatever?
I just know she was a has-been actress, and she's not a great actress.
That's not how she feels, Babs. I'll let you know. She loves herself.
She
loves herself.
I can't stand
her. Okay.
She's like these wannabes, all these wannabes.
Yeah. Loved Kanye on Piers for the few moments he was there. Absolutely.
He's so good.
I love Piers when his lies are debunked with putting scammers on his channel. Oh, Bailey, freaking rad. Right. Okay. Hello, Babs. Thanks for the truth bombs. You keep dropping. I'm an Aussie. Do you have anything on any Aussies?
Which one? Who?
We don't know. Just any Australian celebrities. I think maybe Sam's. Not that springs to mind. That's all right. Don't worry.
That I know. I mean, not that I know of right now.
Okay.
I mean, you have to ask. I'm terrible with that kind of broad question.
Yeah, it's all right. Barbara, what do you think about George Clooney and Harry Styles being lovers? What is happening right now? So I guess this is another rumor in the grapevine. Right?
I mean, it's possible.
Listen, consenting adults, you have fun, boys. All right, you have fun. Right. Speaking of Kanye, do you know anything about Harley Pasternak?
I think he works for the government. I think he was Kanye's handler for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I've not gotten to it yet, but somebody in the side chat just asked about Will Smith. I didn't see it go up there, right? How long have you got, right, for going on about Will Smith? Like, I'm not being funny. His son wore a hat to an event, like a house on his head that was a house that terrible things took place in, for a cry for help. Have you seen what his son is doing with his life now? It's far from what his father's doing. And honestly, we could sit here for the next day and pulling apart that whole family. Okay, so listen, going back to who the nice people are and if they're nice people. Keanu Reeves and Woody Harrelson, good guys, bad guys. Be careful here. Okay, this is
I like Keanu Reeves, and I think Woody Harrelson's father worked for the CIA, so I don't know.
Don't know. Listen, all that really matters is Keanu's a good guy. That's all that matters. Okay. No one is ready
love-
for the day that
I
Keanu Reeves is not a good guy. None of us are ready for it.
I've never heard anything bad about him ever.
Okay. Where does Brad Pitt fit into all of this at all? Question mark.
I have no idea. He's good looking. That's all I know.
Yeah. I actually watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood the other day.
I know he does sleep around a lot with Eastern European models. A lot.
Okay.
Like in New York, he was always sleeping around with models and stuff. I've heard that. Like young, like 25, 24.
Okay. All right. Well,
But nothing bad. I know he was an alcoholic. I know that.
I mean, I could probably understand that. What about Kendrick Lamar from Bailey here? What do you think? Anything going on with Kendrick Lamar?
I like Kendrick.
Why do you even have to ask about Tom Cruise? Tom Cruise is a 4'9" man who pays thousands. And I mean, do you have any idea how tight the media control is over Tom Cruise? He was the representative of Scientology. Okay. And you've all seen the meme on South Park where he goes into the closet and refuses to come out of the closet and then comes out of the closet and doesn't stop running from the secrets in the closet, if you know where I'm going. Do you know how much money this man pays for journalists to not discuss this? Not that anyone cares now, right? Also, why is he still making Mission Impossible movies? Why is it like twice a year a Mission Impossible movie comes out? We don't care that you do your own stunts, Tom. No one does, okay?
And
right.
He's never received one Oscar.
Say that again?
He's never received one Oscar.
Oh yeah, that's gonna eat him up. I don't think that's because he's the same size as the Oscar. Babs. If he went on stage to collect it, he'd have his arm around it, mate. He'd have his arm around it like, yes. Nah, I'm on to you, Tom. I see you, rascal. All right.